Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of Your 20s in the 2020s, also known as Y2T2. I'm Manal, this is Zed, and today we have kind of a different kind of a conversation to go through. We will be discussing some hot takes.
Yeah. I don't know. We woke up today and decided that we want to get canceled. So,
Hopefully not. I feel like, hey, this is a freedom of speech amendment that we are
that,
taking
okay,
full use
girl
of.
said freedom of speech amendment.
I think it is an amendment, right?
I don't
Maybe I'm
know.
wrong. I swear, well, whatever. There's a law on it. You can. So we're taking full use of it today. And
Mm.
let's see how that goes.
Bismillah.
Yes. Bismillah indeed. Okay.
Okay.
So first hot take is from my end. And it is that people use mental health as an excuse nowadays.
Yes.
Okay. So now don't get me
Oh,
wrong, I am a big advocate for mental health. I myself have gone through slight mental health issues in the
for
past,
real,
and
bro. Oh my God.
he's been aware of all of them. It is a struggle, and I feel like there was a time where it wouldn't be focused on at all. And I do understand the importance of caring for it, advocating for it, getting help for it regardless of your situation. I'm pro therapy. I understand the need of certain people being on medication for mental health, etc. A lot of reasonings behind it. But I feel like nowadays, especially on the internet, there are so many people who will magically self diagnose and will basically be like, ooh, because I wanted this coffee cup placed next to this bottle on my table, I am actually OCD. Or something slightly sad happened to me. So now I am completely depressed for months. And they use it as an excuse
Right.
to respond to things and make it part of their personality trait.
Right. So,
That's where I
what do you
feel like
think the larger impact of that is?
I feel like it makes it less important than for people who are actually going through issues and who directly deal with mental health issues, and people who go to rehab for it, people who are on medication, actively going through therapy, actively making a difference about it, or discussing it for real serious reasons that they need
Right.
this situation for, versus someone on the internet who read some post about someone actually going through the issues and being like, oh, I relate to maybe two of them. Let me just say that I'm also ill. Like, I totally get it. Not everyone is completely healthy, and so many people have issues. That's so fine. But to make it your entire personality trait when you don't even know if it's actually something that is affecting you, and it's just because you've seen it on the internet and you have not even researched about it or read about it.
Or try to get help for it.
Oh, yeah, or
All
try
of
to
those
get help
things.
for it. Like, you just basically become this person who's an attention whore. Like, I'll be honest. Like, it's kind of diminishes the light for people who are actively trying to fix their problems and who are going through issues and want to discuss and want to share it. Because at the end of the day, being online for a lot of people is a safe platform, and it's a way for people to share their problems. So having like 30 people diminish one person's issues because they're like, oh, well, I also wanted this coffee cup next to the coffee mug and this and that. And that means that if I could get through it, you could with your severe OCD issues that prevent you from leaving the house. Like, it kind of sucks for those people to have to read that and understand it. And I'm like,
Right.
dude, not every second person is fucking on the spectrum. Not every second person is like severely depressed. It's just the truth. It's genuinely not the case. So that overdoing thing and that wanting to be one of the, I don't know, it's like a weird trend to have a mental disability now for a lot of people,
Yeah.
and ones who
Yeah,
are
that's
like
true.
actively going through it. I'm like, bro, oh, what the fuck is your problem? No, you don't relate. You're just sad because you didn't get your fucking dinner on time, or like your work was slightly too hard than it
Yeah, it's not an
normally is, so
actual
you had to stay overtime for 1 hour,
chemical
bro.
imbalance, so to speak.
Yeah, it isn't, because you're not actively going through like a disability in a sense, or a problem in a sense that prevents you from going throughout your day to day,
Right, right.
like in a way that most people do. So that is, I would say, my hot take. Do you kind of get it? Or
Oh, I 100% get it.
yeah, so
Um, as someone who's dealt with mental health problems in the past, as someone who's been around people who've dealt with it, and also as someone who's also as someone who's been around people who are quote unquote faking it. um, yeah, no, it's a very real thing. I think two things are super important on this. I think that everybody does go through it at some point in time in their lives because just like the entire premise of this podcast, life is hard and there will be probably more than one occasion where you are absolutely down in the dumpster. So it's important to either know that you are mature enough to deal with it on your own. And if you're not, then you should also be responsible enough to actually get help for it without inconveniencing, or even if not inconveniencing, then I would say depending on other people or dealing with it at the expense of other people. I think
Yeah,
both of those things are super, super important. And
for
you
sure.
realize that the more you grow up, because for me, it's like whatever I am dealing with is for me to handle. I'm not the responsibility of, for example, Manal, who I know
Mm,
I could talk to about anything and everything. It's been that way for ages now. Or even my parents or whoever, talking to them about it is a different thing. And making them deal with it for you is a completely different thing. And also
yeah,
broadcasting it on the internet is, I don't know. I think making it your entire personality is
yeah,
where I would sort of draw the line and be like, come on, dude.
yeah.
Like, what's happening?
No, I completely get where you're coming from. I guess you did state it way nicer than I did. But
What can I say, bro?
it
It's a corporate effect.
but it is the
Sugarcoating.
whole like yes, I understand that certain things are not accessible to a lot of people. It's the same with a lot of physical health issues where there's not free healthcare, things like that too. Especially mental health issues, like the NHS wait list is about 6 months to get seen by a therapist, things like that.
That's crazy.
So it does make it tough to possibly, get a diagnosis or get the adequate help at the time that you need, which is why people do discuss it on the internet, things like that. And I think that's totally fine. But then diminishing someone else's experience is A,
Actual
not
experience.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, like someone else who's going through it. There's no harm in asking for help. There's no harm in talking about it. When I had an online presence on TikTok in Karachi, I used to post a lot of like sad stuff. And I did used to get like messages from people, and
Whoa.
it used to be an average like discussion, but a lot of the times it was like someone who is 14 and just like sad about things in school. And I'm like, you know what? If your problem is situational most of the time, it's not necessarily going to
That's
hurt you
true.
in the long run as
That's
much.
true.
It's usually when it feels like there's no way out otherwise.
Yeah. And
That's when you
it's
kind
also
of,
like I feel like so this is a bit weird, but like the way that I approach it is that if rationally a problem can be solved, I don't think that it is an actual mental health problem. But if you are irrationally unable to solve something, I think
uh,
that's when for me it's like, okay, there is something greater than the issue itself that is hindering or inhibiting this individual,
yeah.
including myself, obviously, like
Mm.
even if I talk
Uh,
about myself.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from. I think like at least for me, I used to struggle with rationalizing a lot of things with a lot of my issues. So I would make them seem smaller because I was like, well, rationally I could just fix it. So I totally understand that some people's relationships can be different with that aspect, but also for some people it can work. But there you go. That is kind of the spectrum of it. Everyone deals with their issues so separately, but you need to have, I'd say, a decent amount of research and understanding on it. There's so much
Yeah, or just like
online to
go get a
actually go through.
consultation, go get help.
Yeah, there's so much online also that you can learn from, like
Yeah,
articles, ways to
I think that
understand it, online tests.
before self-diagnosing, education is so important.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like, what was the thing? People use mental health as an excuse
Very,
nowadays.
very hot take. Sizzling
Yeah.
take, I must
Yeah.
say.
Because the moral of my point is it just diminishes people who are actually going through those issues by having every third person use it as an excuse more than an actual
For
understanding of this is
trivial
what people
things
go
too.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, next hot take.
So this is my hot take. Um, my hot take is that love is not enough to make a relationship last forever. What do you think
Fair.
about that?
Zara agrees.
What do you think
Zara
about that?
agrees.
Let's go, Zara.
Yeah, just giving you guys news. She's my friend that I live with. So
Yes.
she will be on an episode soon, one day. So
Stay
that'll be very
tuned.
exciting as well. Yeah. Um I I exactly see what you mean. I feel like there's so many prerequisites that need to be met
Yeah, for
along with
sure.
just love.
And you don't realize them. Like even if I talk about myself personally, my first relationship, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to marry this girl. My second relationship, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to marry this girl. And I think there were like a couple girls in between as well when I was like, oh my God, I'm going to marry this girl.
You just want
I
to
don't,
marry
e-
everybody, huh?
I don't speak to any of them anymore. Like not even like as friends, we don't talk. But yeah, no,
Mm,
love is not enough to make a relationship
yeah.
last. I think it obviously, I would say it is the most important thing, but it is not important enough that it be the sole decider on whether or not a relationship works out. I think I've realized the more I've grown up that there's so many things. I think timing is super important. Timing, not in the sense of right person, right time, more in the sense of where you are personally yourself in your life and whether your current situation or your surroundings or just the way that you are going about your life is permissive enough or accommodating enough to include another person and even share that part of your life with them. And
Mm-hmm.
then also another perspective to look at it from is just if you look at it from an attribute perspective, like love is an attribute, it sort of plays a part in a bigger plethora of things. Like, for example, I think
Mm,
compromise, I would say,
yeah.
is super important. Like I said, timing is super important. I would also say that financial stability is like one of the biggest things, unfortunately, but it's true. And I think that a lot of things have to be going right together at the same time for you to be like, yeah, this shit's gonna last. This shit is a for lifers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I see exactly what you mean. I feel like in my head, love should be a catalyst to push you to kind of
Get your
reach
shit
all of
together.
those required, yes, to reach all of those required attributes. Because there's so much that comes to it. It's in a sense, when you're in a partnership, there are certain responsibilities that you have to meet up to.
Exactly,
It's
exactly. And
not
it
just
doesn't
an I
matter
love
like
you moment.
that goes besides traditional or non-traditional societal gender roles. That just goes beyond like um the bro, I forgot
Premise
my
of
train of
love.
thought.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. It goes beyond just exactly. No, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was
It
saying.
goes beyond just love because you can love and have a lot of love for a person, and you can still have love for someone who might not even be in your life on a direct basis. A lot of people do because it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. Okay, I'm gonna finish my sentence. It doesn't
Uh-huh.
mean that you're actively doing something about it. Because it is a feeling and a
Yes.
connection that you have with the person, but then there are
Yes.
things that you need to do to actually showcase it or to continue on with it. And when it comes to partnerships, I feel like there's a lot that one needs to showcase it with. There's, of course, your
Bro,
basic
someone just
requirements.
fucking
Like,
DM this girl and just date her, bro. Please.
oh my God,
She's so
please
smart, guys. Come on.
leave me alone. Don't.
She's so emotionally mature. Just do it. Someone please. Treat her right, guys. Come on.
Thanks, Ed. This
You're
is
welcome.
another call me out positively for a
It's never been
matchmaking.
positive before. It's just been calling you out previously. This was the first time it was positive.
Matchmaking for Manal.
Yeah,
As we go
exactly.
on, as I was talking about, yeah, like there's of course your basic requirements. You've got like honesty, loyalty, all of that that needs to come in. You can't be like, I love you, but I'm gonna go cheat on you, like,
So true. So true. Or I
or
think even I wouldn't even say it's like like see that's like an outright bad thing to do, right?
yeah,
But
of
even
course,
like beyond that, I feel like the whole point of it, at least in my eyes, is love someone enough. or use the love that you have for someone as a catalyst to sort of make you reach all of those other reach all of those other goals that you need to whoa that you need to reach. It's windy. Um yeah, like
Fair.
your financial stability, your emotional maturity, I think your ability to compromise, be able to meet someone in the middle, work as a team, have common goals to work towards, plan together, consideration. There's so much that goes into it. But that's exactly what my point is.
Yeah. So for the third, come back. Okay. So, hey guys, for the third hot take, we actually have a guest who has joined us.
Hi,
This is
Zara.
Zara, one of my closest friends who I also live with. And I feel like she can help us give insight on another hot take that we wrote. So, it is basically a lot of people are only progressive about problems that actually don't affect them directly.
Okay. I mean, I would say to some extent I do agree, but to some extent I don't. I think in today's time, people have the liberty to kind of, feel that they can be apolitical. They can, they can choose not to speak about certain things because it doesn't like exactly, attack them. Like today, if I'm talking about I'm like, if I go around and say I don't believe in politics, so I don't want to talk about politics, it's probably because the politics that I'm surrounded with, if I'm in my own country and if it's not affecting me, I have the privilege to say that it doesn't affect me or that I don't really care much about it. And I think that probably answers it. But then at the same time, you also kind of do need people who can actually speak up for the issues that's actually going around. And because if this keeps on going on, people are going to just become, deaf about these things and people are just going to become insensitive. So I don't know.
I get where you're coming from. I guess for me, it would be like more about a lot of people are first to post something on their Instagram stories about an issue or first to share it, which I think is great in terms of media coverage. But when it comes to actually helping, whether it be through donations, whether it be through, actually, I guess, putting slight inconvenience in your day or something like that, or actually understanding the depth of issues, like someone could post about issues in Pakistan, for example, who's sitting in the UK and actually knows fuck all about it. It's the fact that a lot of them don't actually spend their time to research about issues. So when the second problem can come out, you'll either see a stray in their opinion or you'll see like something that isn't following the same path of the opinion that they had earlier. Or if you actually have an active discussion with that person, they don't actually know what's going on, which I think is lack of understanding, and you shouldn't be
Ignorance.
sharing
It's
your political
ignorance.
ignorance. Yeah.
Uh,
Does that make
I mean,
sense?
I'd say there are both sides to it. So a lot of the times there are like celebrities and everything who do sometimes feel like they could make a difference just because like there was this one I think a tweet or a comment of Selena Gomez where someone had been like, why do you never post about Gaza? And she goes like, just by adding one sticker on my story, I don't think I'm gonna make that make of a difference. But truth is you will, she's answering her own doubt. If just by posting one, donate link on your story, you can
It would
actually
make
do you
a
can
huge difference.
actually
That's very true. No,
it'll
that's
make a
very
huge
true.
difference. So I think there's like both sides to it. And I think jo jitna apne, like whoever can do how much ever they can, I think they should be doing it. Because I think even like a little bit of a contribution contributes to something. Yes, but at the same time, you should also know what the issue is when you're talking about it. Because sometimes there are going to be a lot of people who'll be speaking about issues just on the basis of it's trending, other people are posting, so let me also post without realizing what the sensitivity of the issue is, where it stems from. And I think that's something that people need to be really working on. But because we are in such a fast paced society, no one actually wants to give it, the time and effort to actually sit and read what the
Yeah,
matter
nobody
of the fact
dwells.
is.
We just move on to the
Yeah.
next
You'll see
big
the
thing.
first like post on Instagram, or like you'll just scroll and you'll be like, "Acha ye hua tha, this happened, this happened." Okay, that's it.
And it becomes a trend.
It becomes a trend.
Fucking
You won't even
Yeah.
sit and actually watch a video without putting it on like double speed, you know,
Yeah.
because no one has
I
the
have an
time.
interesting thing to add to this. So, like, you know what I find to be hilarious? So, like, I'm going to, for example, I'm just going through my Instagram stories, right? And then something has happened in the world that is tragic or sad or whatever. And then one story is going to be about them absolutely screaming about it. And the next one will be them in fucking La La Land, like wearing. This happened to me like a few days ago. And it was like the first story was like, it was hardcore, bro. Okay. And the next story was this like really romantic song with them wearing a dress. And I'm like, what? And it was like posted an hour apart.
It's a very dystopian society kind of a
Exactly. It's so
situation.
dystopian. And I was
Yeah.
like, so, like, do you actually care? Because that's how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can you
Yeah.
post that right after, like, immediately after posting that? I'm not saying you shouldn't, if you want to post about the quote unquote happy things in your life, you should absolutely do it. But, like, there's a little bit of context that goes along with it, right?
I think I think in today's times, Ed, one thing that's lacking the most is balance. You know, people don't know
Mm.
how to balance emotion. People don't know how to balance empathy. People don't know how to balance sympathy. It's either they're going to be too much, too empathetic about it, too sensitive about it, and they'll go extremely on that side. Or people are going to become extremely insensitive and they'll be like, why do I have to care? Not like me caring is going to make a difference, you know?
Okay, so what
There's
I'm
no, there's
understanding from
no.
all of this is fuck NHS, go to Zara for therapy.
No, no, she doesn't need. She doesn't need more clients. Promise you. Okay, well,
But yeah,
thanks for your
my
hot
hot
take.
take, I'm going to go have my breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, go have your egg,
Best of
bro.
luck, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Zara.
joining us. That was a little guest appearance, I guess. Very cute. At Zara has something to say on Instagram, guys. You guys might be able to keep up with other things that she has to say in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, Zed, next one. That is, you said closure is not real.
Yeah, this is something that I'm completely on. I'm not on the fence about this at all. I don't think there's a
Hmm.
double argument. There's two sides of the argument for this double argument. I don't think there's two sides of the argument for this. It is fake. It is a made up fucking concept, bro. It is
Go
stupid.
on.
It's so stupid.
Go on.
Bro, closure is just like, okay, listen, when it comes to any situation,
Hmm.
um, I would say 95% of the time, there's always two sides of the story. And closure is usually this concept that's attached to situations where you were wronged or something like that, or there was a disagreement. And then you want to go to this person and be like, you hurt me by XYZ, by saying or doing XYZ things, and they made me feel XYZ types of ways. And I'm right and you're wrong. It's just your version of the story that you want them to agree with. Closure is not real. And I
Mm,
personally don't think that it's cathartic. So
yes.
yeah, it's fake, it's stupid, it's a made up concept. You don't need somebody else to agree with you to validate yourself. And you also don't need the person that quote unquote hurt you to agree with you for you to heal. That's not real.
I see what you mean. I feel like closure as a word, I think it exists, but I don't think you need the other person involved in it to get closure.
No, that's
I
exactly,
feel
yeah, no,
like
that's
it's
it.
your
That's
own
it.
personal kind of thing that you have
It's your own
sat through the
personal
situation.
reconciliation.
Yeah, you've sat through the situation, you've accepted it, and now it's time to move on. You don't need to actively sit and have a conversation with the other person to get closure. Like,
Exactly.
for example, God forbid you're in a really shitty situation. If, for example, that person who you're ending things with, every time that you guys have had a situation has always been negative towards you, whatever the second side of the story is, I think that's enough closure, right? It's like, हो गया तुम्हारा closure, पता चल गया है ना कि
Yeah,
कैसा
no,
है
straight
इंसान.
up, bro.
You
Exactly.
don't
Exactly.
necessarily need to sit and rehash it because I feel like that I completely agree with you on the sense of it is more about validation. Because if you actively know, unless I think that there's a miscommunication that needs to be talked about and brought up
That's a
between
different
two
thing.
people,
That's a different thing.
yeah. If it is something that is actively and explicitly there and it's a reason why you guys have ended things, I don't think you need to make the other person be like, oh,
I'm
accept it.
sorry.
Because they're
There's
like,
nothing
even
wrong
if
with
they
them
accept it, it's
apologizing,
not
but
gonna, yeah.
it's not going to change what happened. It's not going to change what you went through. And it's definitely not going to help you move past it.
Mm,
That's
yeah.
completely false, in my opinion. I think that
Actually.
moving past a situation or a person or
Mm,
something is usually, for me, it's always been rather than them asking for forgiveness, it's more of been like, I choose to forgive you for what you did to me.
mm,
And that's what really has always helped me move on, be it people, be it situations, be it anything
mm,
of that sort. It's so
yeah.
much more internal than it is external. And I think that just ties back into the fact that you don't need that validation from them to feel better
Yeah.
about yourself. You need it
If you're
from
not
your own stuff.
relying on the other person's response
Exactly.
to actually move on, I feel like their response should not be the, I guess, contingency on whether you are actually going to heal or do better.
100%.
So I
100%.
got where you're coming from.
What?
Yeah. We have a last one. Um, After a certain age, I don't have sympathy for sad stories.
Yeah. So this is Manal's hot take.
Okay.
And I would
So,
love to know what she has to say about this.
so it's not necessarily about sad stories and situations, but it again ties into kind of my hot take about mental health. If you are at an like adult age and you are going through something sad and you want to share about it to your friends or whatnot, go for it. Your friends are there to help you, give you advice about things that you're going through, and vice versa. But if you are sitting and presenting a sad sob story on a constant basis and making it part of your personality as an adult, I feel like, bro, just go home. Like, nobody needs to hear that. You are not a child who is
Grow up,
struggling to
basically.
yeah, who's not compartmentalizing your emotions and, actually needs advice and care on a repetitive basis for your sadness. Now, again, not talking about mental health issues on that aspect. I'm talking about like sad situations, like just things that happen in a negative aspect in your life that you want to share and talk about. But you make that your whole personality and you're constantly, every single conversation is like, yeah, that one thing that happened and, I'm sad about it, but, I need to work through it. But then you're not actually working through it. And that's just a constant conversation again and again. In
Right.
most cases, you are adult enough to go through those issues on your own in terms of understanding them and in terms of moving forward from them. And getting advice from your friends and them being caring for you, I think is totally allowed and totally fine. But when it becomes the only premise of the situation and it is not based on a bigger issue or premise that you're going through, as in mental health, then I have no empathy for that. Because it's like
Damn,
every
bro.
time I meet you, it's just like there was this girl who like we would actually like I used to meet her like quite often. And she would basically say every time, she's like, man, I can't do this. I'm allergic to this. I have this problem. I have that problem. And it was every fucking conversation on an everyday basis. And it's not like these were situations or conversations that I could give any response or advice to.
Who's
Like,
the
yes, if
girl,
you're coming
Manal?
at me with a problem, who's the girl? No, no, not to be named. Not to be named. So it's like,
Oh, God.
if you make every single hangout and conversation about, these day to day things that you're going through and there's no other substance in your life, like, bro, come on. Like, you are old enough to actually participate in other factors of your life than just talk about your little pity party on a daily basis. That's what I think. And yes, I'm being rude now. I was nicer on the mental health thing because that is a completely valid
Whoa.
situation to be nice in. But
Yeah.
if you were just coming up to me with sob stories on a constant basis, regardless of your age, 20, 30, 40, unless you're 12, don't come to me with those issues on that
Why are
aspect
12
on
year
a
olds coming
constant
to you,
basis.
Manal?
No 12-year-old. Yeah, my cousin's 13. He can happily come and speak to me about issues.
Mm.
He's navigating his life as a child. That's fine. You see, because I think children, they're still understanding ways to gauge these kind of problems and, their
Mm.
little issues, whether they be in school or whether it be about like life, etc. That's totally fine because that's the stage that they're learning how to actively process these kind of situations and develop from them and learn how to handle them when they're older. Once you're like 30, like go home. Like I don't want to listen to it. Like go do something else with your day
Go
or
home
go
is
fix the
crazy,
issues. Like that's what
Go
I think.
home.
Do you have any opinions on this statement? Do you agree or
Um,
disagree?
I completely agree. I think that people are always looking for something or someone to save them,
Hmm.
and they don't realize that nobody's gonna save you but you. Like
Hmm.
it has to come from you. Change has to come from your own self. We all watch those movies about how this dude who's like really, really talented and super intelligent, but like because of some things happening in his life, he ended up in a terrible place and he's working in like a dead end job or not a very well paying job, or just very simply put, he's not living up to his quote unquote potential. And then just some random person comes along the way and they like find this kid and they're so impressed by him and then they just it's fucking bullshit, bro. That doesn't happen. Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
it's like waiting for a savior to actually tell
Yeah.
you what to do
Yeah.
instead of doing
You
it
don't you
yourself.
can't wait for that miracle to happen. It's not going to.
Exactly. It's like if you don't take the active step to actually do something, you're like, for example, the people in your life are supposed to help you on that path, not actually pick you up and place you in there.
Yeah. And also like luck. People talk about luck like it's complete. I don't think luck is completely random. I think
Hmm.
luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Oof.
Hmm. I have not seen it like that.
Yeah. And I think that's how luck is made. That's how luck works. And opportunities will come and go. But if you're not prepared to sort of grab them by the balls, then nobody's going to come save you.
Fair. Valid. So yeah, those are some of our hot takes.
Yeah, we woke up today and decided we want to get canceled. Please don't cancel us, guys. We tried
Freedom of
keeping it.
speech amendment. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Whatever the fuck that is. I
And
live in
honestly, I
Pakistan.
want to hear people's opinions if they disagree. So
Oh yeah, hundred
message
percent
us.
for
Why
sure.
not?
Message us. Put it in the comments. We're gonna be throwing out clips. Uh,
Yeah.
Comment on YouTube, whatever. Or even if it's not an agreement or a disagreement, let us know some of your hot takes.
Yeah.
'Cause I would love
Why
to.
not?
I would love to debate them, and I love disagreeing with people. So
He definitely does. I'll tell you that.
yeah, so
But yeah,
for sure.
that was another episode of Y2T2, as in your 20s and the 2020s, with Manal and Zed. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, more than we did. I really enjoyed this personally. So,
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
all right, guys, we will see you next week.
Yep. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.